and gentlemen, the time we've been waiting for is finally here. This is the last episode of the Infinite Tsukuyomi filler arc. And would you believe that the Naruto series actually has the gall to show Naruto versus Sasuke before we even get to Naruto versus Sasuke? It's a little ridiculous. And that being said, this week's episode was probably the best of this whole, Tsunade story arc, but that's still not saying much. There were some moments in this episode that looked really cool in the battle between Naruto and Sasuke, because we got to see them use pretty much all of their signature abilities, but they're still going to keep some of their super secret abilities for later in the series. And I think that was a very good decision. Going into this episode, I was afraid that they were going to spoil something entirely, and they really didn't. So basically, this whole episode is about Naruto and Sasuke meeting up at that tower again, going to the rooftop, and having a big, epic, destructive battle. And when I say destructive, I really mean it. Everything around them gets pretty much completely destroyed. While they're battling throughout all of this, we're going to see a lot of flashbacks of things which have happened in this arc within the confines of this Infinite Tsukuyomi world. There's this one flashback which is kind of new, but is also sort of an allusion, to me anyway, to the original Zabuza arc, where Sasuke sees this kid who lost his puppy who fell off this bridge and is in this raging river, and Naruto, being the hero that he is, just dives in and decides to save the day. And this was one of those moments that, according to Sasuke within this version of Infinite Tsukuyomi, has greatly influenced him and wanted to make Naruto more his rival. And of course, that's only fueled his rage as they battle in this episode. And like I said, you're going to see a lot of signature techniques. Rasengan, Sage Mode, Amaterasu, multiple forms of Susanoo. Not only that, but we even get to see Naruto using Kyuubi Chakra Mode and using a Bijou Bomb for the first time in the Infinite Tsukuyomi universe. And basically we get to see them have this big final standoff where Sasuke Susanoo is about to fire a big Amaterasu arrow, and then you have the Bijou Bomb. They collide, they destroy everything, they decide that they're still friends, la la la, that's the end of the day, power of friendship. The thing that I was most surprised about this episode going into it is that they still haven't adapted the Tsunade Infinite Tsukuyomi story. And at the very end of this episode, they just decide to give it to us, where we get to see that Dan is the Hokage within this universe. Not only that, but Nawaki, the younger brother of Tsunade, is actually still alive, and he's even getting porn from Jiraiya. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden? Thank God it is over. Even though this is the end of this filler arc, we're about to jump into another one which is all about Itachi and his entire backstory, which frankly I feel isn't even really necessary, but it's apparently based on one of these spin-off novels, which may or may not be canon. It's kind of hard to say because no one really has an official answer on this, because Kishimoto himself never directly worked on any of these spin-off novels, but at least according to the marketing teams, they're all an official part of the Naruto universe, and as long as there's no conflicting events, I'll consider them to be real. I'm looking more forward to those than I am these episodes right here. That being said, the preview for next week's episode does not impress me all that much. The artwork, the animation, still kind of looks like what we've been seeing over the course of the last couple months, especially in this Infinite Tsukuyomi arc, which frankly was really hard to get to. I am never going to watch these episodes again. When they come out on DVD, it's actually a good thing that there's so many of them, because that means there's going to be certain Naruto Shippuden DVD box sets that I'm not even going to have to purchase, because there's just no way that I'm going to want to have to sit through these episodes again. They just were not all that much fun, and there was a lot of lost potential, especially because we get to see Naruto and Sasuke fighting here with their abilities, and they could have done something really unique with it, but basically it was just all the stuff that we've seen before, spliced together with flashbacks, and a small scene at the very end reminding you, hey, remember, this is Tsunade's Infinite Tsukuyomi story, which I frankly think is kind of insulting to her character. They could have done something really unique with Tsunade here, especially the fact that Dan is still alive and Nawaki. They could have gone on an adventure with them and done something unique. Instead, they basically just sort of glossed over it and reminded themselves, oh yeah, crap, we have to include this part in the story, and I'm glad they did. I originally didn't even think they were going to do it, and they were just going to skip over it entirely, which, if they did, would have been the ultimate insult to Tsunade herself. So, Infinite Tsukuyomi arc is done. Now, they have not announced that there's going to be any more Infinite Tsukuyomi stories. I can't imagine that there's going to be, especially with this Itachi filler getting ready to go on, possibly into May and into the summer. I have a feeling maybe that's when the final story of Naruto is finally going to kick in. They're going to tease us a little bit next week. If you look at the preview for the next episode, they are going to go back to the final parts of the war for just a little bit before we get into this Itachi side story, which we can only hope is going to be entertaining. It at least is based on something that already has a story that's been told, so it might be a little more consistent. I just can't wait to see what the animation, the artwork, and what the fight scenes are going to look like. That being said, this was just another average episode of Naruto Shippuden, but like I said, probably the best episode from Tsunade's Infinite Tsukuyomi arc. There were a few action scenes that looked kind of cool. My favorite one was probably where Naruto used one of his big Odama Rasengans and tried to hit Sasuke, but Sasuke actually ended up hitting it by punching it with his Susanoo. Aside from that, that's really about it. It was an okay episode, so I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5. But if you watched this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden, why don't you tell me what you thought about it? Are you glad that the Infinite Tsukuyomi arcs are done? Are there any other Infinite Tsukuyomi arc stories that you would like to see with some brand new characters? Are you looking forward to this Itachi arc? Make sure to tell me in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching this review. Make sure to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby.